I would. Don't you just wish for one super wish as opposed to three, like one very powerful, and then you just give yourself fairy godparents. And then,
fairy godparents have a lot of rules, bro. I don't fuck with all the rules.
Yeah, but like,
you seen that book? Have you seen their book of rules, bro? The fairy godparents book of rules is fat, dude. It's so big. Fat. But no, literally on my top 10 genie wish list is I want a fucking toothless to fly on. I want to experience flying on a toothless.
Can we hear this list?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pacific Standard, guys. My name is Carter Briggs, and with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Mason Winter.
Hello.
And Abel Stoika.
Hi.
And today we are talking about how to train your dragon.
The first
Carter,
step,
how do we train a dragon?
What?
in the first couple months, they eat a lot.
It's fish, but they want you to eat it too, you know? They want you to like it.
They do. Should I give the rundown on this one? I have stated this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Not just no. Do either you boys want to give the rundown, or should I give the rundown?
No, you do it, Carter.
Give it a good rundown.
All right.
Do the honors.
Okay, so How to Train Your Dragon. It opens on kind of a killer narration. Mostly movie narrations suck, but this one's actually kind of killer. About the Isle of Berk, which has dragons and these Vikings who live there. And then we are introduced to our character, Hiccup, a very skinny boy who's the son of the chief. And nobody believes in him because he's not very good at anything, to be honest. So they probably shouldn't believe in him. But he shoots the biggest, baddest dragon out of the sky, the most scariest dragon. He shoots one out of the sky and no one believes him. And he goes to find it and kill it. And he can't do it. And over the course of the movie, while he's being trained on how to kill dragons, he's also learning how to tame them and train them and learning that they're maybe more than what his society thinks they are. And chaos ensues. His dad finds out, and they use his new friend, Dragon Toothless, to find the island where all the dragons live. And then a big bad dragon shows up and is going to kill all the Vikings, but Hiccup saves the day by riding the dragon and being the most badass guy in the world. And that's it. That's the movie. It's a pretty simple movie, pretty simple plot.
It's just such a straightforward plot. It doesn't dilly-dally around. It's really concise, and structurally it's like really well written.
It's well paced.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I saw it when I was young. I didn't see it in theaters, but I was probably like, about 10, 11 or so. I remember distinctly that I loved the design for Toothless. I thought his character, I don't know, it was very memorable to me, so I'd doodle it and stuff at school or whatever. And I'm looking back on it, it's very iconic, but it's cutesy, but also kind of badass too. With the flat top of the head and everything, and the big eyes. I think it just came together really well.
It's a really, I don't want to call it, when I say simple, I don't mean, that's not a bad thing. It's a very simple, sleek character design, and it adds in enough things that it can be cute or really scary. Like the toothless aspect where he has retractable teeth. That's great.
Yeah.
The eyes are incredibly expressive, which is awesome. And then he's got these axolotl fins on his head, right? And those are super expressive, and those can even be cute. When he's cute, right? When he's supposed to be a funny little puppy, right? They're up, and they it looks like an axolotl, which shouldn't look cute, but for some reason does look like a fun little lizard. It's an amphibian.
More and more, I started to feel like Toothless's mannerisms were similar to that of a playful cat. When kind of for the whole first segment of the movie where Hiccup and Toothless are in that little kind of grotto together where Toothless can't get out because his tail's hurt. He kind of like leaps around like a cat, and the eyes are definitely very similar.
They like blend feline and lizard eyes. I don't know. It's just really good. They've taken a bunch of shit that really shouldn't work together, and it just creates like a really iconic creature design. And if I'm honest, the rest of the dragons in this one are just as iconic for their creature designs are equally as good, I think, for what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Lots of like really disproportionate, like giant heads on small frames and like really like wide wings versus like a small head with like a skinny neck. Like it was very cartoonish. All of them were cartoonish in like different ways.
Nah, I liked them.
I mean, isn't it kind of pulled from the artwork of the novels?
It is. Yeah. Like the creature design is very much of I know I talked about this earlier. This movie is a perfect example. I don't mean earlier on this show, but I've said this on the pod. This movie is a perfect example of killing the author, where they basically just took the characters and the creature designs from the book, right? And they didn't go in the same direction as the book. I haven't read the book, but
what direction did they go in?
Well, I was going to say, it felt like a children's series where there was like a lot of books. I think there was like a lot of them, wasn't there?
Yes. And I don't remember. I don't know.
The movies, they chose to go the like trilogy route.
Yeah.
To tell a full story in 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But they also did that very well.
Yes. They did it perfectly, I think.
I wrote that I thought the intro scene was kind of perfect because it introduces you to the dragons and how they're a main focus, but it doesn't quite really like reveal them to the viewer yet. And it's a busier, and I thought less boring way of letting Hiccup narrate and roll through the cast of characters rather than having some sort of static introduction of everyone.
Dialogue scene where Gobber, yeah.
You kind of get to like quickly, it's chaotic because the dragons are attacking, so you get to quickly flash between everyone, and it kind of like makes sense to you, and you're like, okay, and then it gets you straight into it.
Being introduced to the monstrous nightmare while Stoic punches it in the bare hand, socks it in the jaw is fucking awesome. What a great scene where this dragon that's literally on fire climbs up this tower, and then this muscle-bound meathead man just hits him in the jaw. And the dragon looks at him like, what the who the fuck are you? Like, what just happened?
You ever see that video of that guy punching the kangaroo in the face?
Yeah, that's every dragon when they meet Stoic. That's every dragon. They're like, what the fuck?
I really liked how they have... I thought the narration was also really good at the beginning, but I really liked at the end when they do the same narration, but they flip everything to describe the world at the end. And I think that's just it's a kids movie, so it's nice to like be able to kind of show kids who are maybe not as versed in like film like analysis or theory or whatever, like the change from the start to the finish.
I almost feel like that was pulled from the books.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Well, Burke just doesn't seem like Burke. I think appears more bleak in the books, and in the movies, you're kind of like, oh, it's just kind of a cliffside, seaside Viking village.
But it's a cliffside, seaside Viking village in like the North Sea, so it's cold as shit, and like that's what I like in the beginning.
Yeah, but it just doesn't like. You would assume that you would see signs of strife, of poverty, or of starvation, or anything. But no, they seem fine. They seem all chilling.
No, the only problem that they have is the dragons. And if the dragons were gone, they would be peaceful and living it up. True. It would be idyllic.
On their island paradise.
Yeah.
It is a great looking... That shot where they like are on Toothless and they fly over Burke and you see the town in full. What a
when he's touring Astrid.
Yeah, and when he goes on his first flight. Both of them. Also, we haven't mentioned it yet. Can we talk about the score?
Score's great.
Like,
Score's great.
It's up there for one of the best scores, in my opinion.
Johan Johansson?
Let me look. I don't know.
I think he did the second one, so I would assume they did the first one. I don't remember why I know that.
John Powell.
No, it's John Powell. Oh, from the Happy Feet movies and X-Men: The Last Stand. I don't know. There's just a lot of composers that I don't know.
He did all three of them, it looks like. And Ice Age, Meltdown.
What am I thinking of then?
Dawn of the Dinosaurs. He did the Bourne Identity and Supremacy. He did Ferdinand. Happy Feet, Solo, A Star Wars Story. He did Wicked? What?
I don't know why I thought it was Johan Johansson, because he did not.
Nobody knows, bro.
Do that.
Nobody knows. Kung Fu Panda's Secrets of Awesome Secrets Collection. The Lorax.
Oh, that movie was an awesome secrets collection.
Kung Fu Panda 2, which does have a great score, actually.
Yeah, name one song, dude.
I can't name the song. It's a fucking score. He did Bolt. Everybody remember Bolt? Oh, who remembers Bolt?
Bolt is so awesome. Good.
The video game is even better.
Dude, the hamster in that movie.
Rhino
that
the hamster.
Good.
Is it
Horton
Hears
a Who? Yeah, his name is Rhino. Oh my god, he did Robots too? No fucking way. Now I'm just looking through this guy's stuff.
I forgot that there was a Horton.
One of my favorite quotes of all time from that hamster. I eat danger for breakfast.
He did Shrek and Chicken Run and The Road to El Dorado. Chicken Run. We did that one.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
He did Ants. Holy shit. This guy's a beast.
Decorated veteran.
Dude,
DreamWorks.
Get this guy an Oscar. Does John Powell have an Oscar?
I salute your service, sir.
Best Original Score 2025, Best Original Score 2011. For what?
Maybe this.
Oh, he was a nominee for this, and he was a nominee for Wicked.
Cool.
Give this man his Oscar. I'll kill you.
Come on.
John Powell. Learn the name, folks. Household name. Next Hans Zimmer is John Powell, even though this guy is probably the same age as Hans Zimmer.
I think Jay Boucherel is the perfect casting for Hiccup.
I was gonna say I called this this is the end ass cast, because it does have a lot of similarities to the This Is the End cast.
It's got Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. How do you say his name? The Hiccup. The guy who plays Hiccup. He's the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah. That's what I know.
Jay Baruchel.
He's Hiccup in the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Jay Baruchel. His two credits in my mind.
I saw Craig Ferguson on the cast, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Craig Robinson." Different Craigs.
The first time I saw Jay was in it's a show called Undeclared, and it ran in 2001, and it only ran for a season. And I kind of had a conversation with my mom about it, because I was like, why didn't this show take off? Because I've seen it, because we have it on disc, and I'm like, this show's great. There's so many people on it. Like Will Ferrell guest starred on it, and like Adam Sandler guest starred on it. But the main core cast of the students is like Jay Baruchel, Seth Rogen, Charlie Hunnam. I think Jason Segel is like one of the main chick's boyfriend, so he pops up a bunch. But there's like so many people in this show. My mom, her honest opinion, she was like, after 9/11, kind of not a lot of people were really watching TV. So a lot of stuff kind of just, at that time, just kind of bombed. And I was like, oh, it would have been such a gem though. And so that was the first time I saw him, and he's the protagonist of that show as well. And it's called Undeclared because he's an undeclared student at college who doesn't have a major yet. And he's awkward, but he's endearing and he's likable. And I think that's exactly what you needed for Hiccup. And I think he does it perfectly.
Yeah, he's got a really unique, like, nasally inflection that pairs really well with the Hiccup character and just the the vibe of this movie as a whole.
Well, I think that lends to the awkwardness, but I think he plays it well enough with like, he's a little quippy and he's like a little funny, where I think he's a little awkward, but then you're also like, but I like this guy. He's kind of funny though.
No, it's good. It's a great voice cast. I honestly think he should do more voice roles. Like, he's got like a very unique, specific voice.
I didn't take a lot of notes.
It's hard to take notes when something is really good, I find. When something is really boring, I don't take notes because nothing happens. And when something is really good, I'm too busy watching and being like, I like this, to take any notes.
I mean, I did write, it was similar. I guess I should have brought it up earlier when you guys were talking about Toothless and the expressions that he has. But I kind of thought it's the case with all the dragons. And I think it's noteworthy anytime non-speaking characters exhibit a lot of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell like all of their emotions and how they emote. But it's done very well in this movie.
It is. It's done really well. You know who we haven't talked about? Is cool Uncle Gobber.
Cool.
Missing
Uncle
hand,
Gobber.
missing foot Gobber.
Missing hand, missing foot, the blacksmith. Fucking.
He had a lot of good zingers.
He's kind of ride or die for Hiccup. He's kind of like, yo, why don't you just be a dad? And Stoic's like, I don't wanna. And then Gobber's like, oh
no.
What the fuck? Gobber's like, hey bro, just do it. Just be a good dad. And Jerry Butler isn't having any of that shit. He won't do it.
Jerry Butler. You think that the movie 300 would have done as well if he went by Jerry?
Jerry Butler as
Jerry's
King
in this
Leonidas.
new movie. Olympus Has Fallen, starring Jerry Butler.
That's Ginger Spice's name.
That's Ginger
Jerry
Spice's
Butler?
name?
Yeah, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry Halliwell. I thought you were saying her name was Jerry Butler.
No, her name is Ginger Spice.
Did you guys listen to the Spice Girls at all?
No.
No.
Okay.
But
I don't remember.
she is married to the principal of one of the Formula One teams. So that's how I know her.
Oh, okay.
That's the most.
But I'm like,
That's
she was in the Spice Girls. That's
Mason. I was gonna say, dude, the scene where Hiccup is that first flight scene where Hiccup is like changing gears on the dragon. How fun was that to watch? That's sick.
I wrote. Where was the note that I wrote about it? I
He's
said,
fucking.
"This is." I'll read off my note word for word. One of the best moments, comma, first flight over the ocean. Hiccup tosses the cheat sheet and says, "Nah, let's wing it. We've got this." That was my note.
Dude,
It's a great
so
scene.
good. It's so good. I don't think people appreciate, and it's fine if you don't appreciate. It's not supposed to be appreciated. It's supposed to go unnoticed. But the amount of like incredible storytelling and like genius writing that came from Toothless losing the fin, his tail fin.
And then the end of the movie.
It's actually so because it solves so many problems in the movie. Like when the problem one you get to when you're writing this script, right? When Hiccup releases Toothless, why does Toothless not just fly away? Well, because he's grounded because of the tail thing. Oh, cool.
He's hurt, bro. You can't fly.
How do we make the scene where Hiccup is learning to ride on Toothless? How do we make that more like Hiccup is actively doing something and Hiccup looks badass? He's not just like sitting on the back of a dragon. Oh, he's got to drive that dragon stick shift? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's go. Like he's changing gears
like,
on a bitch.
It seems like there's just different formations for like what kind of flying they're doing.
Yeah.
But no, it lends to like all the scenes you get to see in the first part of the movie where Hiccup and Toothless, they're not just practicing flying, but in the beginning before Hiccup even comes up with the contraption to fix Toothless's tail, he's bringing him food and trying to feed Toothless. and just form a bond with Toothless to show him that he means him no harm, and they're buddies. And then slowly you watch them become more and more friendly with each other, and their bond reaches like the epitome where Toothless or Hiccup is like, I don't need this cheat sheet. Me and Toothless we're symbiotic now. We can just do this by feel.
And then Hiccup loses his leg at the end. And then in the second movie, Hiccup entirely reconfigures his leg and the machine, right, that changes the tail so that they fit together seamlessly. Yeah.
His prosthetic just clicks into his saddle thing.
It's so good. I'm nerding out over here. That's such good writing. What the fuck? A worse movie would just be like, Toothless stuck around. He liked it there. Fuck it. You know? A worse movie would be like, you have a soul bond with this dragon and it is summoned sometimes when you are in great distress. We didn't watch that movie for this podcast. That wasn't one of the first movies we watched, by the way.
No, we're going to... Next week we'll watch it, though.
We're going to watch Aragon again? Please don't make me watch Aragon.
No, we haven't seen it.
I feel like...
No! Don't listen to that episode, by the way. It's bad.
How to Train Your Dragon is one of those animated movies that I think sprinkles in just really beautiful scenic shots, too.
Oh, when they break the clouds?
Yeah, where he flies with Astrid and the fictional camera... because it's animated, locks on Toothless, and then he kind of like back rolls with them through the clouds, and it just looks amazing.
And it goes from like twilight to full night once they break through the cloud cover, and you go over the like fire-lit city, the candle-lit city of Burke. Ugh.
And then the other one is kind of obvious, and it's smaller scale, but when they launch a fireball when they roll up on the Dragon Island, and the Vikings bust through the wall, and there's an open, empty cave in front of them, and they shoot a fireball down it, and you just see dragons covering every inch of the walls inside the tunnel.
That creeped me out so much when I was a kid. Also, to this day, if I get one genie wish, right? If a genie came to me with one wish, it would be I would wish for another genie lamp, because I'm not a fucking idiot.
Another lamp?
Because you can't wish for more wishes, so you'd wish to turn like someone you don't like or someone bad into a genie, and then you'd take their lamp and make 3 wishes.
Don't you just wish for one super wish as opposed to 3, like one very powerful one?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just give yourself fairy godparents. And then,
fairy godparents have a lot of rules, bro. I don't fuck with all the rules.
Yeah, but like...
You seen that book? Have you seen their book of rules, bro? The fairy godparents book of rules is fat, dude. It's so big. Fat. But, no, literally on my top 10 genie wish list is I want a fucking Toothless to fly on. I want to experience flying on a Toothless.
Can we hear this list?
The list of guidelines for fairy godparents is about a mile long. It's true. And the guidelines that the founding fathers left us for this country was about a piece of paper long.
Dude, and look, fairy godparent society, thriving. America, not thriving right now. We can see which is better.
So rules, people.
Also, if you break the rules, a huge burly guy with a wand the size of 6 grown men comes and beats you up.
What's better, having 3 wishes from a genie or having fairy godparents?
It depends on what you're...
That's true.
I bet there's no rule. I bet there's no fairy godparents rule against wishing for a genie. But I bet the genie from Danny Phantom would show up, and she'll fuck your day up.
Genie from Danny Phantom?
There's a genie lady from Danny Phantom. Don't Google her, Mason. It's going to make you feel some type of way. It's going to make you feel some type of way if you Google this genie lady. Is she bad? Is she bad? That was his first question. Yo, animators were horny when we were kids.
I flipped off. I went back to my notes.
Sure.
Why were animators so horny when we were kids, dude? It's
Because they're
wild.
people. They're human, Carter. They're only human.
They're human beings, and they had to release an episode every day. You think they had time to go home? They didn't have time to go
I
home.
wrote that it's done more obviously because it's a kids movie where Hiccup's experience with Toothless kind of lends to just his sense of Dragon's behavior. And they're not like, he literally brings an eel into the arena, so they do it more literally. But it's that kind of knowledge of these creatures that makes everyone in the village kind of awestruck by him at first. Eventually, he teaches them all how to do it, but they still maintain that, like, he's the first. And Astrid says it because he's whining about how he's the first Viking who doesn't kill a dragon. And she's like, but you're the first one to ride one.
Yeah,
That's got to count for something.
that's pretty sick.
I think
a good
the
line.
first thing also counts for something, you know?
Nah,
Just nobody
not
liked it when he did it. At the
not
moment.
in a society where cruelty is normalized, Abel.
Yeah, but then he unnormalized the cruelty.
Yeah, and now they're cool little pets.
Yeah.
Also, best
they're
first date
enslaved.
ever. Best first date in
True.
fiction.
Yeah, she goes from being super jealous of him and pissed off and like kind of hating him to like just like having a crush on him over the course of one kidnapping.
I mean, it was a pretty sick kidnapping.
Because now
If
she
somebody-
understands.
Yeah, and if somebody kidnapped me and was like, oh, we're going to take a scenic, majestic ride on a dragon, first it's going to start as a thrill ride, and then it's going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, I'd be like, okay, I'm in love with you now. Zoe.
When you asked me about this, the first flight scene,
Mhm.
is there anything cooler than a Night Fury noise?
Dude, I was going to say the sound design in this movie is so good. The Night Fury fucking, when it streaks in and it sounds like a jet plane, and then it just, the fireball it shoots.
It gives Slave 1 vibes.
It does.
Just whoa, just some sort of crazy sound that makes you go like, whoa.
There's just sounds in some movies that you're like, that they just stick with you. For me, for some reason, in the Clone Wars show, the sound of the gunships was always awesome.
I mean, OG TIE Fighters is always, for me, the
Oh.
screech of TIE Fighters is it's something else.
It sticks with you. You're just like, it's awesome.
Someone should just make a music genre where it's just a bunch of cool noises.
I wish
That'd be
we
really cool.
spaced
You
out
could just
how
listen
far
to cool
apart.
noises all the time.
I wish we knew a guy who makes. Mason, do you wish you knew a guy who makes music on his own?
I wish I knew a guy.
I wish I knew a guy who makes like dubstep kind of experimental computer music. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't trying to get a shout out here.
Shout out Abel. Go listen to his stuff. Abel, list it. What's it called?
The snowbound sound.
Fucking go listen to it, bitches. Or actually do it. Sorry I called you bitches. That was unkind.
What the fuck, Carter? That was unkind. This is
Yeah.
a kindness themed podcast.
Great sound design. Fuck. What good sound design.
I also wrote the description of the there's a big book with description of all the dragons, and the Night Fury is like a blank page except a few things. And it says the unholy offspring of lightning and death itself.
Dude. Aura farming. That book is aura farming for Toothless.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Which in turn aura farms for Hiccup, because anytime Hiccup and Toothless show up subsequently in the next movies,
Mhm.
it's equivalent to like when Optimus Prime shows up. You're like, shit is about to go down.
No, for the next for the next two movies, whenever Hiccup and Toothless roll in and there's like bad guys about, they scream Night Fury and then they all hit the deck because they're like, we're gonna die. It's tonight. Tonight is our last night with the living. Fucking, I saw a theory online, and this is the kind of stuff that I get in my like TikTok and Instagram feeds because I'm a huge dork. I saw a theory that Toothless seems like he's more adapted at hunting dragons than fish and like sheep. because he's faster. You can't see him, and his like blast of fire is strong enough to knock a dragon down, like a big fucking dragon down. So it seems like that Toothless just doesn't eat dragons because Toothless doesn't have parents to teach him how to eat dragons.
That's funny.
Which is cold as fuck.
I guess.
Because Toothless is really smart. The Night Furies are really
That's
smart.
what I was about to say. It's clear that Toothless is very smart because Hiccup was the first to notice that because it doesn't kill him off the bat when it could have.
And smart species, they get taught their hunting techniques. They don't instinctually know them. Like orcas teach. That's why all orcapods learn different hunting techniques.
So you're saying is Toothless very young when Hiccup shoots him down?
Well, in the second movie, his mom says that Hiccup and Toothless are the same age. So Toothless is like 14. And dragons can be old, because Toothless is alive in the modern day, based off a short. Or a series. There was a Netflix series for How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't watch it, but Toothless is alive in the modern day. In the modern day. A bunch of modern kids find Toothless.
2025.
That's what the show is?
Walking around.
Not the Race to the Edge show. That's about... That one came out when we were young.
That one's goated.
That one's fucking goated.
I haven't watched all of it, but it's goated.
I also haven't watched all of it. I watched like half of it, but it's goated. Toothless is in it.
That's a crazy concept.
Toothless is old.
Just have it be set in modern day, but be the same dragon.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't remember. But I'm gonna Google.
I'll look it up.
DreamWorks Dragons: The Nine Realms. Yeah, the main kid rides Toothless's kid. That patchwork dragon. And there's like new, not as well designed dragons.
It's got a horrible rating on IMDb.
That does not shock concept. Me. I mean, I don't like that. Like, just let a character die, for God's sake.
Well, like, I think it's cool that they would adapt it to modern day. Not necessarily that it's Toothless. I don't know. I don't have strong feelings about it, I guess.
About what?
About Toothless's lifespan stretching from whenever the movies are set to our modern time.
I mean, my assumption is he's frolicking in autumn mist. That's my assumption.
Okay.
That's good. Autumn mist is good, Mason.
If you get that reference, I love you forever. I think the last note I wrote was when Hiccup is awoken at the end after the battle. The first thing he does, it's realistic because it's a panic when you're awaking from sleep. He freaks out because Toothless is inside of his house. And he's like, is my dad anywhere around? My dad's going to flip his shit. His Toothless is like bouncing around the house like a cat would and knocking things over.
Toothless is too big to be a fucking... He's too big to be a house dragon. Get him out of the house. Yeah, true.
He's clearly a cat.
He's clearly a cat. Clearly a cat.
He's clearly a dragon. It even says it in the name.
Dude, shut the fuck up, Abel. You know that's not what we meant. What the hell?
Low-hanging fruit.
You know what I also love about this movie? How awkward of a dad Stoic is. He's like very much not a good dad, but he's trying. And when he does try, you can see how awkward he is when he's trying. He's like, I can punch a dragon in the face,
Single
but that
dad
skill...
life, bro. Just punch stuff. Try your darndest.
Drink Monster and punch shit. Single dad
Tell
life.
him he's not your son. And then at the end, tell him you couldn't be prouder.
Yeah. Be like, sorry, bro. Save his pet that you caged up. He's so lucky Toothless didn't rock his shit for that.
Honestly.
If I was Toothless, I would have rocked Stoic shit. And I guess in the second one, Toothless does rock Stoic shit. So he does get his get back in the second one.
Whoa, spoiler alert. Toothless rocks Stoic shit in the second one.
He does. It's bad. Everybody cries. It's not good.
I've seen the second one. It's just been a minute. I remember watching the second one and being like, I was like, that was fucking awesome. Like, I was really into it, but I don't remember anything that happens to that.
It's the best one.
I might watch it tonight.
Dude,
I'm ready.
me and Mason are on the same wavelength.
Should we?
Dude, watching the first
start?
one made me want to watch the second one.
Dude, do we want to
Such
do
a good movie.
Do we want to do a John Powell marathon? Let's do a John Powell marathon.
John Powell-a-thon.
Powell-a-thon,
This
annual
month of John
Powell-a-thon. Let's do a John Powell month. Let's do a composer month. Do John Powell, then we'll do Zimmer.
I don't know. It's got to be a month where there's nothing coming out. Every January is composer month.
Every February is composer month.
I'm getting conflicting reports here on which month is.
When's composer month?
When is composer
Which one
month?
is it?
When is composer month and when is Dragon month? Tell me.
Oh, we created Dragon Month.
Yeah. We also just created composer month, brother. What the fuck?
Did we? I thought that was a thing you guys were talking about.
No.
No, we made it up.
I thought that was
right
a
now.
thing in the movie business.
No, because we watched
Composer
two Dragon
month?
movies to start.
Yeah, composers just did a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, let's move into quotes.
Let's
I
do
have
it.
4.
I
Okay.
can start us off. I have one.
Let's hear it.
The first note that I took, and it's the only note I took for the first half of this. It's stoic, and he goes, "When I was a boy, my father told me to bang my head against a rock, and I did it. I thought it was crazy, but I didn't question him. You know what happened? That rock split in two. It told me what a Viking could do. He could crush mountains, level forest, tame seas." And I like this quote because it just makes me question if this Viking society, they just all give their children early onset CTE. And that's why they're all Vikings. And do crazy shit like fight dragons all the time.
The dope part about that scene too is Gobber is so it's a very much adult brother moment where Stoic is like, when I was a kid, and Gobber's like, oh, fucking here we go, this story again. And when Stoic goes, I crushed you know what happened? And Gobber's like, you got a headache, while he's still drinking his beer and fucking with his metal tooth that he's not listening. He does not. He's like, you told me this story, Stoic. Move the fuck on. We get it.
I almost wrote that first part down too. That was funny.
Mason, what you got?
First one takes place during training. 4 of the kids are in the training arena, and one of the dragons fills up the arena with gas so no one can see anything. And they're trying to toss buckets of water on the head of the dragon that is going to ignite the gas that was spewed by the opposite head of the same dragon.
The Zippleback. You talking about
Yeah,
the
the
Zippleback?
Zippleback.
We're talking about the fucking Zippleback right here.
Snotlout and who are the twins?
It's either Rough Nut or Tough Nut. It's one of the nuts.
It's one of the nuts. So
I can't remember which nut is which.
So Snotlout and one of the nuts, they throw their buckets of water on Astrid and the other nut. And the quote is, one of the nuts says, your butts are getting bigger. We thought you were a dragon. And then Snotlout chimes in, not that there's anything wrong with a dragon-esque figure. And I thought the invention of the word dragon-esque was great.
That's a good one.
Because he doesn't want to look like a dick in front of Astrid, who he loves.
Well, yeah, he's trying to compliment Astrid. He tries to flip it and compliment her. Snotlout, at the end, is on top of the giant, massive boss, big bad dragon. And he's just playing whack-a-mole with its eyeballs and a hammer. And he goes, I can't miss. That was my favorite part. And then he goes, what's wrong, buddy? Got something in your eye. But the I can't miss part was my favorite of that.
It's so good. Like, that dragon does not give a shit. Also, the ease with which that dragon could have killed that dude. And it just chose not to, because he was a minor annoyance to him.
Yeah. And then my favorite quote is from Hiccup to Toothless. Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
That's a good one.
I almost wrote that one down. His delivery is
It's
so
great.
perfect for that.
It's great.
It's good.
He could have said that it could have been such a generic line delivery.
Because
but he
there's
says it in
multiple
such a
lines
unique
leading
way.
up where Toothless he doesn't like Astrid that much. So his behavior in the beginning of their first flight, showing Astrid that dragons can be nice. Toothless is being a little bratty. He's kind of dipping them in the water. And Hiccup has a few quips. And then the final one is, "Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile."
And he says it like he's a flight attendant. He says it like he's a flight attendant giving a safety meeting.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
It's so monotone. It's so good. I have a few. One of my favorite Hiccup lines is when all the Viking kids are talking about the scars they've gotten or the scars they want to get when they first enter the arena. Like Astrid says something like, "Yeah, it's only cool if you get a scar out of it." And Hiccup like is super just, he doesn't want to be there. And he's dragging his feet and he comes in. He's like, "No kidding. Pain. Love it." It's so good. It's the most. And they all look at him like he's crazy. And I'm like, why do you want to get burned by a dragon? You guys are fucking masochists. Stop.
You
You're
guys
like
all
12.
smashed your heads into rocks when you were like 5.
You guys are like 12 and you're already masochists. Stop. You need seek help.
That's what I mean, where like he's so clearly awkward to everyone else, and to the audience, he's so funny.
He's like, like he would have been my favorite. I would have loved. Oh, my second favorite character is probably Fish Legs because he's a Magic the Gathering nerd. He knows all the fucking dragon stats. Like all these kids are obsessed. They're all such dicks because they're obsessed with killing dragons. And the second that Fish Legs knows everything about the dragons, right? Like he's read the book cover to cover. And the second he's too into the brain part of dragon killing, all the kids are like, "Okay, let's fuck you, Fish Leg." Like, fuck off. And then the other quote I have is when Astrid gets her axe stuck in Hiccup's shield. Whoop. Whoop. And the nuts see it, and the dude nut is like, "Ooh, love on the battlefield." And that's not the funny part. The funniest part is then the sister goes, "She could do better." Like, just very flat. Just very...
I was laughing at the first part because you said the dude nut.
Wait, Carter, this adds on to your Fish Legs thing, but when he always, whenever they encounter a dragon, just rattles off like their so-called stats.
Mm-hmm.
But then Gobber asks all of them when they're facing one of their first dragons, because it only has a limited amount of fireballs. But he goes, "What's the first thing you're gonna need?" And then Hiccup goes, "A doctor." And Fish Legs goes, +5 speed. And then Astrid says a shield. But +5 speed's great.
It's good. He's a Magic the Gathering ass nerd. He's a fucking... That scene where Gobber's listing all the dragons they're going to fight in training. And he's like, "Attack 8, Venom 12. And he just does that for every dragon. And it gets to the last one and Gobber just
Armor
screams
+13. They're so good.
It's good. And they got what's his name? He's in Kick-Ass. He's in Superbad. He's McLovin. What's McLovin's name?
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but I've seen it.
No, you said
spelled.
You got it.
Hell yeah.
And it's... he's a great voice actor, too. He does more voice roles, though. But, like...
Yeah.
Jay, man. If you're a friend of the show, Jay. Jay, I can't pronounce your last name.
Baruchel?
Do more voice roles, Jay. Come on now. What are you doing?
Probably auditioning for voice roles.
That's true. That's true. Be a Spider-Man. Be one of the new Spider-Men in Spider-Man.
Oh, he would fit right in with like Jake Johnson in the Spider-Verse cast.
He would.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got wide-eyed for a second, and then we were talking about voice acting, and I was like, yes, you guys are right.
Love Jake Johnson as Spider-Man. Also love
Jake
Jake
Johnson.
Johnson
Cancel Tom Holland so they can
make a Jake Johnson movie.
Recast him and put Jake Johnson in there.
No.
We need to cancel Tom Holland. Like,
I think
there's nothing to cancel him for, but we'll just We'll make some shit up.
They definitely shouldn't choose the next one to make Jake Johnson Spider-Man, because I'm pretty sure Sadie Sink is going to be Mary Jane, and I really don't want to see a scene where Sadie Sink flirts with Jake Johnson. That's going to make me really fucking uncomfortable.
Age difference multiplier times 2.
Like, I don't want Mary Jane to be like, what's up, almost 50-year-old man? What's going on? I'm 20 or whatever Sadie Sink is.
She's, probably like 23.
No, I don't think she's like the youngest of those Stranger Things kids.
Sadie Sink is 23 years old.
Fuck!
You got it right.
She does not look 23. No offense, Sadie Sink.
Anyways, let's rate this movie.
Let's fucking rate it.
Oh, wait.
Abel?
Carter, I don't think you didn't... That was all your quotes?
That's it, I think.
You didn't put the quote that I thought you were going to put that I left out. And it's what Abel was talking about, where Hiccup kind of introduces Burke in the beginning and then flips it at the end. And at the end, he goes, "This is Burke. It snows 9 months of the year and hails the other 3. And food that grows here is tough and tasteless. The people that grow here are even more so. The only upsides are the pets. While other places have ponies or parrots, we have dragons."
No, it's good.
And then roll credits. It's a great movie.
Mason, you ever thought about being a narrator for an audiobook, Mason? What the fuck's going on there?
Nope.
What the fuck's going on there, Mason?
I can't do that.
Mason, yes you can. Yes you can, Mason. Do it, Mason.
Wouldn't work.
Why not?
I got stuff to do, man.
I'm fucking too busy for that shit.
I got a job. One of my favorite Theo Von quotes is another comedian asked him if he had seen, I think it was like The Good Dinosaur or something, or it was like Coco.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, my niece wants to watch that with me, but I've got a job. And that was just my favorite response out of anything. He's like, no, I would, but I've got a job.
No, Theo.
Oh, Theo.
All right, let's fucking rate this movie. Abel, what you got? What you got as a rating? Bet Abel
Why
gives
am
it
I
like
starting it?
Because you're gonna be the lowest rating.
Yeah, because you're gonna give it a low rating.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, here I'm coming out swinging. I'm giving it a fucking 8.
Yep. So he's giving it the lowest rating. Remember when we said you were gonna give it the lowest rating?
That's a really high rating. That's a high rating.
That's a B. That's
in the top like 95 percentile of probably what I've given out here. Okay.
But this movie's above that.
It's above the top 95 percentile of what we've watched.
Take yes for an answer, fuckers.
What
I like it a lot. It's really good.
We could have had another perfect on our hands, but old fucking Mr. Scrooge over here, he acts like he's got a limited amount of points he can give out to these movies.
No, that's you, Carter. You ration them.
All right, Mason, what you got?
10.
Yep.
I tried to think about this a little bit while I was watching the movie, and it was a combination of childhood nostalgia, but also just enjoying pretty much like every aspect of revisiting it. I don't think there's anything I dislike about this movie. I think it's great. I think it's great, and I don't think there's much more to expound upon besides that. It's fantastic.
I'm also giving it a 10. I give 10. Look, that first flight scene gives me goosebumps, actually. The score, like, it actually, like, physically affects me.
If the sound design is great, like, if the score rises and falls at the perfect moments, it's an extra, it grabs you.
It's so good. It's so well written. It's actually funny. Like, there's funny moments in this, and they're funny to kids, and me as a grown-ass 24-year-old man was giggling. I was giggling while I watched this little movie about dragons. Don't you worry about that.
Does this mean you can only give the second one a 9.5?
No, it means I'm going to give that one a fucking 11, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, we broke it.
Scale.
We broke it.
No,
Yeah.
wait. It's a 10-point scale. Stop.
You guys gonna watch the live action one?
Fuck no. A shot-for-shot remake with less charm? No.
Is it shot for shot?
It looks like it's going to be shot for shot.
I bet it's gonna be like 20 minutes longer.
It looks like it's gonna be.
How Train
Everything I've
Dragon 1
seen-
an hour 38.
Everything
How
from the
Train Dragon
trailers.
2 hours 5 minutes.
Oh my god, dude. Longer does not equal better.
Almost half an hour longer.
It doesn't matter how long your movie is.
Oh, Julian Dennison is fish legs in this. This is awesome casting for one character. I will not be seeing it though.
You know what else is awesome? When they make
Sometimes
new
when you guys
fucking
talk
movies.
about the fact that a movie is 2 hours, it's reminiscent of when people were talking about Avatar when it was coming out. Like, how long is it? Jesus Christ, I don't have time for this.
Do you guys want to hear
That
something
one's
real?
really long.
You guys want to hear something real?
What?
Yes.
I one time watched The Way of Water twice in one day.
I
In
still haven't seen
theaters?
it.
It was like it took half of my day. It legitimately took. It was like it was an 8-hour experience doing that. 'Cause
Why?
It was like Christmas. It was Christmas morning, and I watched it. Or no, it was like the day after Christmas, and I was sleeping on the couch, and I watched it because I was like, a thing to do before my siblings wake up is watch this. And then my sister came down, and she was like, I have to watch this movie. And I was like, dude, please pick anything up. Please pick anything else.
You need to watch Sex with the Sea Monster. That's what you need to watch right now.
Please,
Okay.
please, I don't want to see this kid flash drive into this whale again. Please, I'm begging you.
So this was at home then,
Yeah.
not in theaters. Okay.
No, I would have killed myself if I saw it twice in one day.
You had to pay money to sit there for 8 hours.
That would have been like a fucking $60 experience.
I remember when I saw it, I didn't feel like that long.
No,
Like, it felt long, of course, but like it didn't feel like 3.5 hours or however long it is.
it's also a pretty good movie. I just couldn't
It's
do
solid,
it twice
yeah.
in one day. That's a lot.
No, yeah, I don't blame you. I can't watch the same movie twice in 1 month.
I just imagine
Like, that's a
Carter in
lot.
the theater and him looking kind of traumatized. And he's like, it's like the subway. If you just wait and you ride it till the end, it just plays again. And I stayed for 2 showings.
Dude, I'm a substitute teacher as my day job sometimes. And one time I had to watch the same first hour of Ratatouille 8 times in one day.
Jesus, 8
Yes.
times.
And then the next day I watched the last 30 minutes of Ratatouille 8 times in one day.
It's such a good movie, though.
It's great, but like, goddamn. Like, not finishing it either was really jarring. I was jarring. And voice just cracked there. What the fuck? I'm going through second puberty right now. What the fuck
When
is
my
going
voice
on?
cracks, I just pretend it doesn't happen and nobody says anything, you know.
Nah,
you could have just skated on by it. Nobody would have mattered.
No, not me. I own up to my mistakes.
This is your last fucking mistake, dude. Voice crack one more time. Bam. You're off the fucking pod, dude.
Oh no, I'm not gonna be one of the Pacific Standard guys anymore.
End of the line, pal.
End of the
Pacific
line.
Standard child.
Pacific Standard tween. The Pacific Standard tweens. Should we have a junior version of the show?
It's on PSG Junior.
PSG Junior of 4Kids YouTube account.
Anyways, what have we been watching this week? I've been watching tons of shows on YouTube Kids. It's a great app. Location.
Sensory videos. Mostly sensory videos, you know.
Is that like slime stuff?
No. The ones where it's the fruit and they're dancing. Whatever, man. You've never been around babies.
Whatever, man.
I've
never
never
been-
been around babies.
You've never been around a modern baby. You basically sit them in a thing and you show them dancing fruit, and they love it. They fucking love that shit, man.
God, what a nightmare.
What have I been... Mason, what have you been watching?
I'm trying to think.
We'll try fucking harder.
Jesus. What have you been watching, Abel, you dog?
I've been watching Andor.
Carter, did you watch Last of Us?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we can't talk about that.
That's okay. I watched, I guess I have something to say about The Last of Us. That's not a spoiler, but I watched it and I was like, that was fine. And then I watched the Cosmonaut Variety Hour video on it, who, I don't know if you guys watch him, but he's like one of my favorite YouTubers doing media analysis. Mostly just like movie review shit. But he reviewed it and he was like, yeah, here's all the changes they made from the game. And it was like, oh, it would have been way better if they just didn't change any of that. Like, why did they do that? Like, it just, everything made sense why it wasn't like hitting as hard as I was expecting it. You know? That's just the Last of Us tirade. I don't care that much about it. It's a fine show.
Damn. Is this season not as good as season 1?
It's a little weaker.
Well, it's just like...
I know the big spoiler, so it's fine. I know I've played the game. Well,
that's... Okay, so like... It gives me Dune vibes, where like the first... It's a part 1. Like, the ending is not an ending.
No.
Right.
You know, so it doesn't feel like finished, which it's not, which makes sense.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of all. Like, it's not bad, but it's just not complete, you know?
Can't really review it yet, which is annoying that they're doing 2 and 3 instead of calling them like season 2, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
I've been watching Andor. I finished the second arc. The second arc is awesome. I thought it was really cool. I don't want to spoil it too much because there's someone on here who hasn't seen it, but it doesn't really sound like he's going to anytime soon.
It's so funny. I realized that Narcos is the main, like Pedro Pascal is one of the protagonists the whole first show. And then the second show, it's Diego Luna is the protagonist of like the whole show.
I haven't finished Narcos Mexico, but I've seen all of regular Narcos. That show is so good.
Mexico took me a while to try, but it's also very good. I like both.
That's what my friend showed me Narcos, and he was like, "Yeah, Mexico is not as good because Pablo's not really in it, but it's really good as well." It made me really respect Michael Pena as an actor because I always think of him as just a funny guy, but he's really good in that.
Yeah.
So, what was
it like? Kiki?
I don't remember his name. That sounds right, though.
I think it's like Kiki something. But he was like an American operative who got killed in South America, which gave us permission to bring the hammer down on Pablo. But no, it's a great show. And then the second show, you more followed Diego Luna the whole time, but that made me really like him. And you kind of fall in love with his character too.
Yeah. He's really good in Andor as well. The show is called Andor, but it's like you follow a lot of characters around. He's one of many subplots and not really... He doesn't feel like the main plot line. There's a lot of main plot lines, I guess.
I don't even know how
it's
to
really
explain how I've seen the Star Wars shows, because I've seen, I think, The Mandalorian in its entirety. Maybe not the last season. I'm trying to remember.
Last season fucking sucked.
You don't need to watch the last season.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
Moff Gideon cloned himself a bunch, and...
Did he? Did I watch the last season of The Mandalorian?
Or maybe there was something about cloning. It wasn't like the first 2 seasons. It's very much like each episode is kind of like its own adventure, but there's kind of a little bit of a plot that gets wrapped up at the end of each season. This one felt more like each episode is the same story, just continued. And it was like, okay.
I think I have seen it.
Plot line.
So I've watched all The Mandalorian, but I have not watched... Actually, it'd be easier to say the ones. I've seen The Mandalorian, I've seen Ahsoka, and I've seen Obi-Wan. I think that's it.
You watched Boba Fett?
I did not, which is surprising because if you know me, my favorite Star Wars character of all time is Boba Fett. And just everything I've heard about the show.
If you want to keep it that way,
just,
don't watch the show.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard about the show is just not good.
I mean, it doesn't make you like hate him, but it's just like he's way cooler if you just don't know that much about him.
He's also
the
way
limited
cooler.
amount that he's featured in Mandalorian, I liked. I liked those parts. And then the reviews from Book of Boba, I was just not drawn to it.
It's so bad.
It's
But I'm
Mandalorian
trying to think,
2.5.
is there anything besides Andor that's like stands out right now?
Visions is good.
Man.
It's not a series, but it's an anthology. I like Visions because it's just different shit. It's just what different animators and animation houses would do with Star Wars. It's just fun, you know.
Right.
I've seen a little bit of it. It's fun.
Tales of the Jedi, I liked. I haven't seen the other two, which are just Tales of the Sith and Tales of Bounty Hunters or whatever.
That Skeleton Crew show looked bad. Acolyte looked bad. Ahsoka
Acolyte
looked
was bad. I did watch Acolyte.
Any of them.
It was bad.
Had a cool name, so I was kind of hyped, but
Ahsoka wasn't terrible to me, but I'm not as hyper. I don't have a critical eye like you guys do. I kind of just watched it to watch it.
I also, Mason, I know you don't feel this way, and it's fine not to. There's no problem with you feeling this way. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of the fucking Force. I'm not sick of it in terms of like there's a world in which the Force exists. I'm sick of only focusing on characters within their connection to the Force. Like, that's why I like Andor so much, is because most people in the Star Wars universe aren't Jedi.
Right.
But everyone we focus on is a Jedi, and I'm like, we get it. We've seen it. We got it. Right?
I think I'd be okay with
story.
it more if the plots didn't revolve around it. But like people are still like force pushing each other, like using the Force to fight, or like they're using it actively, but it's not what's driving the plot forward.
It's not
kind of played out.
It's not a theological exploration of the Force.
Yeah, like Andor is like, we're gonna make a fascism allegory, and we're gonna show all this shit, and then it's just in Star Wars. We're fitting it into Star Wars and expanding on the lore of Star Wars, and it's like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Andor doesn't really feel like this because they do such a good job of expanding on things and really just building new planets and like new characters with their own backstories and stuff. So it doesn't feel as bad as like it could be, where it's like, oh, it's set right before the fourth movie, so we got to show a bunch of stuff that's around at that time or whatever. Like, it's mostly focused on doing its own thing. Whereas you watch Mandalorian season 2 and it's just like, oh, this person was in Rebels. Oh, here's Boba Fett. Oh, here's Ahsoka. Oh, here's Luke Skywalker. It's like, okay. Like,
what if we went to Tatooine again, baby? Woo, sand
all these characters
planet.
Are alive at this point. We have to show them all.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but the ending of Ahsoka kind of had me interested.
Okay.
What's the ending of Ahsoka? I'm not going to watch it, please. Just tell me what's the ending.
I've watched Drew Gooden talk about it.
I didn't watch Rebels, but the end of Rebels, Ezra basically sacrifices himself to send him and Thrawn.
He sends him and Thrawn into hyperspace with a bunch of whales, with a bunch of space whales.
And then Ahsoka goes and saves him and lets Thrawn out.
So they land on a planet, which is kind of just like isolated in space, or in like time space, whatever. And Ezra kind of has to live like as a nomad, like wandering the planet. And Thrawn has his private kind of envoy of troopers with him. And eventually, in Ahsoka, once people figure out how to get to where Ezra is to see if maybe Ezra's still alive, that is the key that allows Thrawn to escape back into the galaxy.
Gotcha.
So it's interesting to me that Thrawn is like being let out back into the galaxy, and like what repercussions that could have.
Right.
But who knows?
Who knows? Maybe they'll never touch it again. Maybe we'll never see Thrawn again.
Well, actually, I don't know because they casted the guy who played the main Sith in it died.
Ray Stevenson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they recast the guy who played the Hound.
Yeah. As him.
That.
Yeah. So I definitely think they're
doing
a
it.
second season.
They're doing it.
A Dune video game comes out tomorrow. And season 2 of Shane Gillis' Tires comes out tomorrow. I'm going to be living good tomorrow.
Mason's taking off work. He's like, fuck this.
No, but afterward, we're having a party.
Man.
In my room.
I can't
And
play
you're
that.
invited.
I can't.
No
I'm
one's
not.
invited.
I can't play that Dune game. It's not on console.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Tisk tisk. What have I been doing? I haven't really been watching anything. I've been, you know what I have been watching? YouTube Rec. Who's ready for a YouTube Rec?
Corridor Crew.
They're cool. I don't think I need to recommend them. I think everybody who would listen to this knows about
That's what I was going to say.
Crew.
For this podcast, I think that's a good rec.
Yes. If you like this, watch Corridor Crew. But I started watching a new D&D creator who called Pointy Hat. He basically explores aspect of D&D, like a monster or a class or something, and then he gives it like a thematic twist, and then he gives you a free monster or class or adventure at the end of his video.
Uh-huh.
He's pretty sick. Check out Pointy Hat. Shout out Pointy Hat. And yeah, I'm a nerd. Come at me. I'm doing a fucking podcast about movies. All right, come at me.
Real quick, shout out Alex G. New album coming out. New song is out. Really good. I got tickets to go see him. I'm so hype. I don't know if you guys listen to Alex G at all. Good singer-songwriter shit.
Bet.
Check it out.
Is that the show? Do we have any fan mail, Abel?
No. You joking? No. Stop
We're gonna-
asking.
We're gonna get one. We're gonna get some one of these days, Abel. All right.
Follow us on the social media.
Follow us. Hey, follow us on the social media, gang. Let me check something.
www.thesocialmedia.com
www.
/ Pacific Standard, guys. We're on there. Trust me.
We're on there.
Oh boy, I'm excited to pay the theater $17 to watch How to Train Your Dragon in live action. We could do this with AI, guys. Come on.
No. Is that the show?
That's the show.
I think that's the show. Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody.